Hey student, watch this lesson and learn how to use one and ones coming up. Hey friends, Teacher Prix here to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. Yes, another lesson, it's me, I'm here. And let's dive into the content. Today, I'm going to talk to you guys about one and ones, okay? Very well. Thank you all for joining. And if it's your first time here, consider subscribing. Oh no, I changed my page. Where? Oh no, okay. Sorry about that. I changed the buttons. I don't know why. Huh. That's strange. Anyways, subscribe, because every week I post different kind of lessons. I don't know what happened to my subscribe button, but you got the picture. Anyways, first part, when and how. When do I use and how do I use it? Basically, you are going to use one or ones to replace, well, let's focus on one. You will use one to replace a countable noun. But Teacher Prix, what is a countable noun? Basically, a countable noun is a word that I can count in English. It'll have a singular form and a plural form. For example, house. It's a countable noun. A house, two houses, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on, okay? In this case, if I need to use one, I will replace the word, the noun, because I don't want to repeat that again, okay? And the same will happen to ones, all right? But in the plural. So in my phrase, if the word that I want to replace, if the noun is in the singular, I will use one. If my word is in the plural, I will use ones, okay? And, important, I can only use this if it's very clear when it's very clear what I am replacing, okay? This is also very important. I will have to speak a little slowly because I went to the dentist today and my teeth hurt. So I have to speak a little bit more slowly. Anyways, next part. Let's focus on one, okay? As I said, we will use one to replace countable nouns in the singular form, but remember, it has to be very clear to me what I am talking about, okay? So I cannot just put one because I want to. No, I am repeating a phrase or I want to repeat a word in English, and because I don't want the repetition, because I want to avoid repeating the word, I will use one, but it has to be singular. It has to be in the singular form, okay? For example, this phone is so old. I need a new one. Here, I was talking to you about my phone. My phone is very old. I need to buy a new phone. Because I don't want to repeat phone again, and it's very clear for the listener that I am talking about the phone, I can use one. I need a new one. This phone is old. I need a new one, a new phone, okay? Hey, which dress would you like to try on? This one or that one. Remember the difference between this and that? This I will use this if I am pointing to something that is near, next to me. So let's imagine the dress. This is a dress. This is not a phone, okay? The dress is next to me. I will use this. The dress is far from me. I will use that, okay? So which dress? This or this? Oh, this one. This dress, okay? I don't want to repeat dress again. So I'm going to use one, this one, that one, because I know it's very clear to me. It's very clear for the listener what I am talking about. If the listener doesn't know what you're talking about, it'll be very difficult for them to understand what you're saying, okay? So if you say, oh, I want that one, one what? Okay? So this is important. If the listener doesn't know what, you can't just start by saying one, once, okay? So the listener needs to know, needs to have a good idea of what you're talking about, okay? Excellent. Another example. See those girls? Let's imagine two girls in front of me. They're far, okay? They are far. I am using my finger and I am pointing, okay? Do you see? Do you see those girls? Yes, yes. The blonde one is my friend, okay? So maybe I am talking to James. James is next to me. And I show James, hey, James, do you see those girls? Yeah. The blonde one. It's my friend. Yeah, she's my friend. So the blonde one. I don't want to say the blonde girl. I don't need to say girl. It's clear for the listener who or what I am talking about. Okay? Now, once. And hey, if you're enjoying the lesson, make sure to hit the like button. I made a few mistakes in the beginning, pushing the wrong buttons, but you know me, this is live. There's no preparation. Well, I prepared the class, but we never know what happens when we go live. Cats, meow, cows, moo. No, there are no cows around here. Very nice. Once. We can use once. I forgot to type once here, okay? We can use once to replace countable nouns in the plural. So that's the difference. It's the same idea, but now you are replacing a word in the plural. It has to be countable, okay? You cannot do this with uncountable words. I will show you what you can do instead, okay? So remember, the same explanation. I can only use the word once if the person listening to me understands what I am talking about, okay? If they have a very clear idea of what the context is, what I am talking about, okay? Oh no, I ruined my shoes, my favorite shoes. I need to buy new ones. Sorry, I need to buy new shoes. I need to buy new ones. So here, I didn't want to repeat the word shoes. So I said, I need to buy new ones. Okay? My tooth hurts or my tooth aches. You could say, I would have to check. I'm not sure because apparently both would be okay. Because you have a toothache. You're probably asking me that because of the toothache, but then it's together. I'm not really using as a verb. I have a toothache, okay? Toothache is not a verb, it's a noun, okay? Like a situation. But in this case, all my teeth hurt, actually. All of them, so it's in the plural. Okay, anyways. When buying avocados, hey, do you like to eat avocados? Let me know here in the comments. When buying avocados, pick what? The avocados. Pick the ones that are slightly darker in color than the others, okay? So when buying avocados is a word that is in the plural, avocados. It is countable, avocado is countable. So if I need to continue the phrase and talk about avocados again, I can use one, okay? Once in this case because it's plural. So when buying avocados, pick the ones that are slightly darker in color than others, okay? Oh no! These aren't my books. These are my books. I put these aren't my books, but I wanted to say these aren't the books. So these aren't the books I asked for. You picked the wrong books. These are for intermediate speakers. I wanted the ones for advanced speakers. Okay, so I wanted the ones. Okay, so you see, I'm using them. I'm using ones in this case. So these aren't the books I asked for. You chose the wrong ones. Okay, now if you are curious about the books I'm holding right now, so this is Advanced Vocabulary in Use and Advanced Grammar in Use. I always like to have this book these books with me because If I have a question about something I need to check, I do. I don't follow the book like doing lesson per lesson. No, that's not the point. It's more like a book for me to consult, to check, okay? So I always have these books with me. I have vocabulary books, I have phrasal verb books, but I don't use them, how am I going to put this, all the freaking time. I check them when necessary, okay? Do you need these books? Not really, okay? Only if you want them. Excellent. Moving on. And hey, make sure to hit the like button. This really supports the channel. You know, I always bother you guys, but it really helps, okay? Now, one and ones. You will use one and ones, and this is for both, okay? Both one and both ones. You will need to use after adjectives. So, oh, this phone is so old. I need a new is an adjective, a new one. So in this case, you have to use you can if you want, okay? Important, not necessarily if you want. Depending on the situation, it is a better idea to replace. Because in English, we avoid repetitions at all times. We really work hard to avoid repetition. So if you already talked about something and you want to talk about it again, you have other options. But in this case, I'm teaching you one. And if you have an adjective, you can replace and use one, okay? No choice. I mean, no choice, but you understand what I'm trying to say. If you want to use this structure, you don't want to repeat phone again, that's it, okay? Same thing with ones. Before adjectives, well, after adjectives, you can, if you don't want to repeat the word, you are going to use one or ones. After the, okay, the article the. When buying avocados, pick the ones that are slightly a little bit darker in color than others. Oh, see those girls? The blonde one, blonde in this case, is an adjective, okay? So this is one situation, well, actually, these are two situations when you have to use one and ones to avoid repetition. Now, teacher, are there other options of things I can say if I don't want to use one and ones? Yes, guys, there are pronouns, there are other things you can do, but then you will need to change the structure of your phrase a little bit, okay? This is one option. The option I'm showing you tonight is how to use one and ones. But depending on the structure you use, you can avoid repetition by using different structures, okay? Pronouns, for example. Pronouns, synonyms, and so many other things. Let's see, moving on. Now, this is the case when you have to use, okay? Remember, the context. You talked about something, you are going to talk about it again, you don't want to repeat, so use one or ones. Especially if you have an adjective or the, then you have no choice, you have to use it, okay? Now, in some situations, you cannot use the, you cannot use one or ones. When? There are more situations, but I will focus on the most important ones. The first one is with uncountable nouns, okay? So if your noun is uncountable, you cannot do that. You cannot use one, you cannot use ones, because these are countable words, okay? So you do not use one and ones to replace uncountable nouns. For example, hey, if you need some sugar, if you need more sugar, I can get you one. Sugar is uncountable, which means you cannot use one or once. Here, you could use some. Yes. Oh, if you need more sugar, I can get you some. Okay? So some would be the best option. If you don't want to repeat the word sugar again, some is the option for you, okay? But teacher Prix, how do I know the word is countable or uncountable? I don't know. Well, there are some lessons here on my channel where I teach you guys about countable and uncountable nouns, so check them out, okay? I think I have 3 or 4 lessons about countable and uncountable nouns, okay? So check them out. But with time, you will start to memorize the words that are countable and the words that are uncountable, okay? You can also check the dictionary. The dictionary will show you if the word is countable or uncountable. So you can check online dictionaries and they will tell you, okay? Awesome. Next example. Next situation, sorry. You will not use one or once if you don't have a precise definition of the groups of things you're talking about. So if you don't have a very specific definition of what you're talking about, then you cannot use one or once. You can use some. I will show you. Oh, we need new bed sheets. Sure, let's buy once. No, you cannot do that. There's no adjective, there is no the, so it's not a specific, it's not a precise group. So I have no idea what you're talking about. So here, in this case, I should use some. Oh, but teacher, this is not uncountable, it's countable. Bed sheets, it has a plural form. Why can't I use once? Because here, let's buy once, there is nothing specifying the word once. So because of that, I cannot use one or once. I could use here, in this case, let's buy some. Okay? So this is very important and you should take this into consideration. Okay? This is a big difference, an important difference. Okay? Now, remember, this is a structure that will help you in conversations, okay? If you don't use this, it is fine. My recommendation for you is that you should start studying this. Watch this lesson, pause, take notes, and start thinking about situations when you don't need to repeat the word again, the noun again, okay? And gradually start making these changes, all right? To help you, I created a PDF exercise file that I will send to the people on my Telegram group. How do you get my Telegram link? Well, in the descriptions, I have the link where you have to register to my email list. Don't worry, it's free. And when you receive my free ebook, you will also get the link to the Telegram. You will get, as soon as I finish the lesson, I will send the exercise to the group, okay? Other than that, write an example here in the comments and write one example with one or ones, and I would love to see. Thank you so much, and I will see you tomorrow for another English lesson. Bye-bye!